Hey guys, in this video we're going to be going over some of the new gear we got for our new live stream setup. Check it out. Hope everything's going great for you. Super excited to be here today and get started. If you don't know me, I'm Chris Giles. I'm with Black Tie Media and also YPX Gaming. We talk everything business, tech, and gaming on this channel. Today I'm super excited to dive in because we're going to be talking about live streaming and live streaming gear. Prime Day was last week, did a bunch of lives then talking about some of the gear that we picked up. And so today I've gotten to use a bunch of it, so I just want to dive in. Some of them be showing you online because I'm obviously using it right now to do what we do. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop it below. Let me know where you guys are watching from. I'm super excited to get connected with you. So, but with no further ado, let's jump in. Let's check it out. So, first things first. If you watched some of my live streams last week, you may notice there's a difference in my camera quality. So the first thing I went ahead and picked up was Sony a6100. So let me pull that up, just show you guys a little more about that. I follow some live streaming guys on, it's actually Live Streaming Pros, and then I also have a YouTube coach, Monty, and they talk about quality. We always talk about audio, video, lighting. I'm an audio guy by trade. I DJ. Actually, I'm an audio engineer. Do live event production. You know, pre-COVID when there was events going on. So it's not new to me. It's just transitioning to doing it all by myself. So one of the main things I decided to do was I needed to upgrade and get a new camera. So this is the camera I got, the a6100. It was one of the ones recommended. When I say the camera quality, the quality from my stream has gone up exponentially. I was using before, I had a what is it, a Logitech, man, I can't remember what it's like, a C920. It's a high-end webcam, but it doesn't do what a mirrorless or a DSLR will do for your stream as far as quality, as far as just the light, the amount of lights, and we'll talk about lighting in a second. But when I switch here, I even show you, this is the behind the scenes to give you an idea of the quality. So this back shot of what you're seeing right now, that's the webcam. And as you can see, I have lights all in my room right now. And as you can see, that just the lighting quality, the amount of light that you needed to make the webcam work was a whole lot. And me, like, I'm a gamer, I wanted to have the cool looking stream. So what I made sure to do was I wanted something that can bring in and do a better quality without having to actually add a bunch of lights. I had some bigger lights before. It was I forgot what you call them, but it's the bulb and the diffuser, and so it took up so much space in my setup. It also it just was cumbersome, and then it lit up the whole entire room. So as you can see right now, I have the color lights in the background and kind of the shallow depth of field. I wasn't able to do that with the brightness of those lights, so I wanted to kind of, for lack of better terms, downsize into what we were doing. So again, this camera is just, it was an amazing buy. It has the flip up. I haven't used it in a real world, in an IRL situation yet. I plan to, but right now for studio, I'm thoroughly ecstatic with what this camera has brought. Again, it's the a6100 Sony camera. Everything I'm talking about today is listed down below, so if you're interested, you can check it out. But one of the other things they suggested to get this, I bought one that came with a regular lens. I forgot what lens it actually, the 16 to 50 millimeter lens. I went ahead and bought that just so if I wanted to do the in real life vlog type stuff, I had a regular lens. One of the things I wanted for the studio setup, though, is I wanted this kind of shallow depth of field. As you can see, it kind of blurs the background and makes it look like I'm super close. It separates me. I'm actually in a very small room, like a kid-sized bedroom. So if that gives you kind of context to why I wanted it to feel bigger, that's why. So that's why I really love this. The step up to make this camera look like this, though, is the Sigma 16 millimeter lens that I got. And when I say literally, I'm literally have been watching videos and talking to a coach about streaming. I'm here today because my YouTube coach, the camera's here. I'm like specifically came off of one of the channels I watch again. I literally was just like, oh, that's what you use. I'm buying the exact same thing because when you want a certain result, you do what they do. You go, who's doing what I want to do already at a great level, and let me just mimic or copy what they're doing, especially if they're teaching it and giving it out. So with this particular lens, this again is the Sigma 16 millimeter lens. I bought the little kit just because, I mean, for a couple extra bucks, you get some, a new card, all that. This lens, though, it doesn't have a zoom on the lens, so that's one of the things. It's one size. But as you can see, like I said, if you look at the difference and how my back blurs, like that was the point of this specific lens. So I obviously probably won't take it when I go into like in real world situations or vlogging style things, but for the studio, hands up, hands down, this is amazing, amazing, amazing. One of the other cool things, if you can kind of check out, I'll go to the big camera so you can kind of see it. Right there, you see the color backgrounds. And again, it's all, in this, it's all about what you want and what you want your setup to look like. So don't chase what other people have if it's not the look that you wanted. I personally, just coming from a gaming background, love LED lights, love color. Again, in the live event world, like I loved when we did DJing or doing large events where we just had movers and everything going. Like when I set up a bigger space, I'm gonna get some crazy stuff going on with some truss and some movers. But this is the space that I have, so I'm gonna utilize it to the best of its ability. And again, if you guys have any questions about the setups, live streaming in general, any kind of business or tech, feel free to drop it in it below so we can talk about it. Next up on the list, this was a very, very simple find. And if you can kind of see in the background, if you see in my background, you'll see the color lights. So right now I only have two lights back there. I have one on this side, and then I have one, right back here behind me. My front wash, I have two. So what I did was I switched to, one of the suggestions was this particular light here, the Bowling P1. I saw a video about it, and the video was actually about using it as a portable setup. So if you're in a hotel room, but you still need to live stream or something like that, how to kind of make it cool. This particular light is so small, it literally can fit in your back pocket. So, at first you're like, can something that small really do this? If you can see my background, like it is lighting the whole room in color. The cool thing about this light, and let me go here. The one that I'm showing you right now on the screen is actually the one that was suggested last week during Prime Day. And actually during one of the videos, they stumbled across a cheaper version or a less expensive version. And so I was like, hey, Prime Day, you get until January to return it if it doesn't work or if it's not quite what you wanted. So we were on here and we literally found one that was half the price. Half the price. So as I was talking before, trying to see if I got the bigger one. As I was talking before, like the biggest thing for me was space in my studio. I don't have a whole lot of space to work with, so I don't want to have a whole bunch of tripods and, huge front wash diffuser lights and all that. So when I found these, I was like, well, hey, what can I lose? So I bought four. If you look at this light, not only is it do the colors. See, this is the perfect picture of what it does. It does color temperature adjustments. It has the straight white light if you want it all white. And then it does all the colors. It does it's like was it 300 and I forgot what the degree range is, but it goes through all of the ranges of colors and you literally just spin a little knob and tell it until you find the color that you want. Same thing with the temperature rating. So like right now, right over top of my camera I have it mostly white. I have it kind of like, if we're looking at this example, kind of at that 4500 range. And then the one in front of me, I have it at more of a, it's kind of closer to 3,000. So it has a little bit of yellow in there to give that temperature. But it helps me stand out away from the background. So that was the point of this. And like I said, I bought 4 of them. And so I'm literally using 2 for front wash and then 2 to color the walls. So when I say like worth the price of admission, like these lights are amazing. Again, I've only been using them for a week, so I'm not sure how long they'll, we'll see. I'll use them again. I got till January to return them if something's wrong with them. But with the opportunity like that, why not jump on it? So again, with that light, it's in the description below if you take a look at it. The other cool thing about it is it comes with a tilt adapter. So I forgot what the screw is called, but the main screw that you use for kind of everything video accessory wise, it has that in the bottom of it. It also comes with an adapter where you can kind of tilt the light however you want it to go. And then it also comes with a straight up that you can attach. So this one is actually the one in front of me that I'm looking at right now. Has the universal setting for all of the DSLRs and mirrorlesses where it kind of slides on and you just tighten it. It has an attachment for that as well. So even if you wanted one of these for on-the-go video or photography, these lights are amazing. They're rechargeable. The battery's built in, so that's the one downside. But at $70, if it breaks in 6 months, like just go buy another one. Because the idea is hopefully that you made your money back from it. It's USB-C, USB. The one downside I will say is if you buy this on Amazon, make sure that you find another USB-C cable. So for example, the lights that I have in stationary, I have them plugged into the wall or to USB things, but make sure you get a longer cable because the cable they send you is like this big. They want you to sit right next to the plug. So that is the one down thing. But again, for $60, I don't mind spending a couple extra bucks on some longer cables. Or if you're just going to charge them and use them. So far, like I've had a couple of them running. I'm paranoid, so I just charge everything all the time. But I had one of them out of the box. It was at half power, and I ran it for 4 or 5 hours before it actually died. So I imagine at full power, you can go a good 8 to 10 hours. Um, Again, amazing, amazing, amazing accessory. So check that out. So we talked camera and lens. One of the other things, there's different ways, audio. Again, that's my nature. That's where I come from. So the audio part of it was just easy for me. Personally, I didn't use a USB mic, but there are a lot of good USB mic options out there. I know the Blue Yeti or the company Blue just makes an incredible product that's very cost effective. Personally, in my studio, again, because I came from a production background and doing not only live events but some studio recording, the mic that I use in the studio right now is this AKG mic, the P220. It's actually, again, the same thing. It's not that expensive. I've had nicer mics, but for what we do, this is an amazing mic. Right now I have just a regular boom stand with a bass on it sitting on my desk. I cleared up a lot of space by buying some of these new toys, so it's not a big deal for me to have this mic on my desk now. To give you instance, if you hear me, I'm hoping it's clear. Nobody's saying you can't hear me, but for instance, I'm technically right now from the mic, I'm about a foot away from the mic, and my gain is maybe at 25% on my interface. So if this is a good if this is a good sound, then that proves that for you. If not, let me know so I can know that I need to either get closer to the mic or. So with that, so that's the microphone. I can even give you kind of if you kind of see, this is the mic. So if you see right here, I'm talking at this distance and it's still picking up everything I'm saying and not being super loud or gainy. So I've had a really good experience with it. I really enjoy this mic. I would even use it for studio recording for some stuff. So it's definitely a good buy, a good check. Also on the audio front, one of the big things that people are always trying to figure out is, well, how do I get into the computer, right? A couple different options for that. Me personally, because again, from a recording background, I always wanted to go with an external interface. So the particular one that I use is what's called the Focusrite. The Focusrite 2i2 is the one that I personally use. There are a couple different versions of it. Focusrite is an amazing, amazing product. A lot of the guys that I run with on the road use these for their computers to do playback at live events, or even just recording on the spot. If you just need to record like a little quick voiceover, they whip it out, microphone. Amazing product. They have a smaller version and a bigger version, depending on how many inputs and things you want. I personally just didn't need the mixer because I have everything kind of in the computer. So in this setup, I didn't need it. Probably down the line again when I expand to get a bigger space, I'll probably go to something outboard like a Go XLR or something, just to get some fun, cool effects or things like that. In this particular one, again, same thing. The only reason I got this one specifically is because I DJ as well. So if I'm recording my DJ mixes, this one comes with two inputs, and that was really important for me, having those two inputs. Because in the smaller one, you only get one mic, so I needed both. And then the bigger one is a uh, four in, four out. So it shows you the back. Sorry, try to click on the. Why doesn't that go to the back? Oh, there we go. So see if you look at that, you get four inputs total on this one. Again, so it just depends on how much stuff you're adding to it. Especially if they're just mics, then you this still may not be the one if you have more than four microphones. But definitely, so this is kind of the best option that I've used and I found, and it's a workhorse. Again, I've had the one that I'm using now. I've honestly had it for probably a couple years now at least. I plan on getting another one so I don't have to keep taking this one out of the studio. I would actually like two more, one for my DJ setup and then one to take live with me when I go back on the road when the world finally opens back up. So amazing, amazing product. So definitely check that out. What was the last? Again, we're talking about the webcam. What was it? The Logitech. I forget the. I think it's the C920 is the one that I have. C920. Yeah. So here we go. This is the C920. This is the webcam that I have. Again, as a webcam in regular lighting, if you're doing Zoom calls, anything like that. Even this is even better than like if you're on a budget thing and you're like, hey, look, I need a better camera than what comes on my laptop, but not quite a Sony, right? Amazing for that. I've live streamed with my Logitech webcam for probably the past year and a half or so. Actually, let's go 3 or 4 years because I was doing gaming streams as well, and I was using it for that. So it's an amazing product. Again, as you start wanting to change your setup, that's the reason that I got into wanting to get a new camera and a nicer camera with a better depth of field. So definitely check that out. Let's check it out. And so I'm gonna go to chat. Let's see what's the difference between a Scarlet and a Claret. Let me look up the Claret. I haven't heard the. So I'm looking at it off the break. Instrument there. At first glance, if I'm looking at it, and I would have to let me pull up the Focusrite as well at the same time. So the question is, what's the difference between the Scarlet and the Claret? And at first glance, it looks like the Claret has MIDI, but let me just verify. Yeah, because I know mine doesn't. So the main difference, it looks like. I just want to check the higher end one before I speak. So if we look at the screen, so right here is the Claret. Main difference, so it has the MIDI compared to the one that I have. It has MIDI. It still has four outputs and then an optical input. In most setups, I'm not sure what I would actually need the optical input for personally. It's just not something I ever have to do because everything I do is pretty much analog to digital. So that's that. Let's look at the front. Part of it looks like design. I mean, yeah. Other than that, man, it looks pretty much identical. Again, this is the stepped up version. I don't have MIDI on mine. I just have two outputs and two inputs. Again, MIDI is going to be more for if you're into music production. So a lot of guys will use it if they use software. And again, this might be for some people that aren't familiar with the music production side, but softwares like Ableton or Logic that allow you to get a MIDI keyboard, and essentially the keyboard itself doesn't have sounds in it, but it controls and sends notes to the software. So that's why you would want something with MIDI. If you're literally just looking for something with audio, either of those are a good example. Also, just want to check the price difference too to see if maybe they change the preamps. Oh, I see. 24-bit 192. No, they both do about the same as far as actual sample rate, bit rate. I don't know, man. Looks like they polished it up, made it nicer, and just resold it. Oh, ADAT expand up to 8 additional. I mean, yeah, so it's little stuff like the MIDI and the ADAT. Honestly, for a simple setup like this, I would stick with the Scarlett, because if I were going into a studio setup, I would get a much larger Focusrite object anyway. So hopefully that answers your question, Ronaldo. I appreciate that. Let's see. One of the other questions I had earlier was talking about video content in general, and it was how often should you post video content, and should it be 1 or 2 videos similar to commercials? I'm having the darndest time trying to outline what I would even include in a video. I don't have the time to do video blogging on a weekly basis, or even more at this point. So honestly, when it comes to video content, especially, and again, it depends on your business, depends on your niche, your audience, right? So a lot of this stuff is going to be very broad. Video content, it just needs to add value. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes or 2 hours. Does it add value? Because I can give you a tip in 2 minutes that could change your life, or I can waste 2 hours of your time and never really say anything. So that's what it really comes down to when it comes to your business content or your video content. Do you actually add value to your viewer and the people watching? So hopefully that kind of answers that question. Just want to read it one more time, make sure I kind of got all of that out. One of the other things, because she was saying doesn't have time on a weekly basis to vlog, right? One of the conversations I had with one of my close friend, client, like we work together, we were talking about content and how like I'm switching over to a mostly content driven business. Like I want to do more content. And he was like, man, I just don't have the time, because he runs another business with a brick and mortar and online store. And he's like, but how do I build that content? I'm like, every time you have a conversation with somebody, because you're having business conversations or inspirational conversations all the time, you have the conversation, you talk about it, and then you're fired up about that conversation. When you're done and you leave, you take 5 minutes right then and there, you take your phone, turn it, again, make sure it's this way, not this way, go this way, and record a quick thing. Hey, I just had this great conversation. We were talking about this. Boom, boom, boom. Document, don't create. When you spend so much time dwelling on, oh, what am I going to talk about and what am I going to do, it slows down the process and it keeps you from actually doing anything, because you get caught up in it and you get just worried. And so what I say, just like I do, the easiest thing is to make it as simple as possible. And again, I know I'm talking gear and I'm talking my new studio setup, and it's nice and it's flashy, cool colors. But what I'm saying is start now. Start with what you have. You got a phone, start. The cameras on your phone are better than the cameras that people had in the 70s, and they still recorded and made content. So what's your excuse? So yeah, sorry. So I was looking at the question. Hey, can a Ryzen 5 2600 and a T50 Ti stream? Absolutely. Absolutely. I love everything. Man, I think I have a. So I got the Alienware. I think it's the R8. with a 1080, and right now I stream it. Not the particular software that I'm using, but I stream gaming and I stream off one PC. I don't have a two. Um, I have a laptop that I could play on and do it, but currently right now I just like doing everything on one PC. So I would say yes, very much so that you can stream on there. Um, the taxing part comes to what games you're playing. So sometimes you might have to scale down some of the resolution and some of the effects on the gaming, just so because your card is going to be streaming and gaming. So I'm not sure what type of content you're doing. If you're just doing content like this, it's perfect. Don't even don't even fret. Like it'll do it hands down. It's just again I do gaming stuff too, and so a lot of times on certain games like Call of Duty or Fortnite, that's just really taxing on the computer. And then the particular software I use is super taxing on the computer, so sometimes it'll slow it down. And so I've switched to a side software. So I'm using vMix right now for these kind of streams when I do business streams, just because of some of the features. When I do video game streaming, I actually use OBS Streamlabs because it doesn't take as much processing on the computer side as vMix does. So, hey, Otterman, I hope that answered your question on there. Um, cool. So, and let me make sure, I just wanted to make sure I talked about everything that I got. One of the things I haven't really gotten to try out yet, I recently picked up a new pair of, I think one of my streams the other day, if you were watching again, because I'm into audio. So I did a headphone stream, which is just fun to me. I didn't realize, honestly, that I had so many pairs of headphones until I thought about it. It was like I literally have a pair of headphones for every use case. One of the that I picked up, I'm trying to just pull it up real quick, is, and this was a suggestion, where'd it go? Oh, all right. So as an audio engineer, I'm not gonna lie, I get a little bougie with my tech and in production. Like I want the name brand, I want the high dollar, just because sometimes I personally feel like the dollar matters. Okay. I kept getting suggested because I need when I do interviews. Hey, what's going on, Love and Literacy? When I do interviews, I have to wear headphones so that it doesn't bleed back into the mic and do the kind of loop effect, right? But I hate having the big headphones because most of the headphones I have in studio are for studio, so they're noise canceling. I can't hear myself talking to the microphone, so I'm yelling. So Monty, who actually is in this, he actually suggested these. And again, I'm always skeptical. I'm like, oh, a $20 set of earphones, like this is not gonna be like I said, I'm bougie with my hearing stuff. Anything, I have Beat Studios, I have Bare Dynamic phones. I got, if you check out the headphone video, I love headphones. I love listening. I love speakers. I have a couple sets of speakers here. I was like, man, I'm not paying $20 for a pair of earbuds and think that they're going to be great. I got these and then I went on YouTube and literally did a bunch of like sound test videos. And for this price, for 20 bucks, hands down, these in-ear monitors are amazing. Now, again, I'm not going to say go do a world tour as a guitarist or a drummer with these and all that. I'm saying, though, that these sound amazing. I would put them up against. I've had Shure in-ear monitors that I've bought that were $200 and $500 that I returned because they just sounded horrible. They didn't have a low bass driver, so you couldn't really hear the bass a little. This particular headphone, even if you don't need headphones, buy these. Like they're 20 bucks. You can't go wrong with it. For my setup, the only complaint that I have, but with headphones or with earbuds, normally you don't get a long cable, and that's it. It just wasn't a long enough cable, so I'm gonna have to get a headphone adapter or I'm looking into one of the wireless setups. Again, when I watch other people, I go, oh man, I want some new tech. Um, but currently today, I'm actually gonna run a Guitar Center and pick up a headphone adapter. Again, you can get it on Amazon. I just don't want to wait. I want to go get it today because I plan on trying to do some interviews this week. But again, for $25 right now, yeah, even at the $30 price range, if it's full price, like I literally can't even speak to how amazing these earbuds are. So check it out. Again, if you check out any of this stuff, let me know. Reach out to me. You see my social there. Like, I would love to hear your thoughts on some of the gear that we talked about today. If I talked about anything, you have more questions, reach out. So amazing, amazing. I think I covered one of the things. There's a couple things. I'm trying to think of what I. There were a couple things that I sent back. I did get some blue blockers that I talked about in the other video. I didn't feel like they worked very well for me. Like, I actually felt like my eyes were hurting more from wearing them. So that was a little weird. So I sent those back, and then I had some clamps that I bought that just. I literally, this brand new camera, I literally almost dropped the camera because the clamp slid loose and almost fell. So definitely didn't get those. The last thing, one of the other cool things that I did, there was a stand that I got. It's a desk stand. I wanted to try to mount stuff to the side of the desk so I could have more top desk space. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. If anybody knows of any clamps, I'd love suggestions on that too. This is the clamp that I had got. They're not horrible, but they're not going to hold your camera. They're not going to hold your camera, and they're not going to hold your microphone. So anything heavy, do not put on these clamps. If you're just going to put like the lights, I would have put the lights on them, but I just had other places already to put the lights. So I would definitely, that's just a heads up about these. They will work for anything that's light. So anything above, you know, 8 or 9 pounds, do not hang them on these clamps. Cool. I'm not even sure if that's the right thing, if I'm supposed to be telling you guys not to buy something, but don't buy those. I'm trying to see what else there was one more thing. I didn't get my boom stand because I had something else. So, when I cleared more space on my desk, I didn't actually need the boom stand anymore. This is the stand that I'm using now, right now. This, I think I paid a little less than that. I think it was on sale on Prime Day. But this particular stand, my only complaint I had about this stand is I thought it would be taller. But it actually ended up working out perfect. So it actually has the screw top. I don't know if it shows it closer. Yeah, there we go. Shows it closer. So it has the 1/4 inch screw top or tip. And so I literally have the camera mounted directly onto that. Down the road, I'll probably get some sort of adapter or something. I just don't like the idea of screwing a $800 camera into the cheap stand, just because I don't want to tear up the threads and all that. So I'd rather put an adapter inside that I can leave into the bottom of the camera. But other than that, man, this thing, hands down amazing. Hands down amazing. Let's see, the blue blockers. I would love if somebody had a suggestion about some better blue blockers to check out. This is the particular pair that I tried right here. Again, they fit fine. They were comfortable. I just it literally felt like they hurt my eyes more. I don't know if it's just because I'm not used to wearing glasses in general. Again, they're not supposed to have any kind of prescription. They're just clear. But so those are the ones that I got, that I picked up. Again, I wasn't super thoroughly impressed with them, but you know. So I think that's the last thing. Just look one more time to make sure. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in. I appreciate it. Just want to make sure I showed the last thing. Yep. So that's all the new stuff for the setup. Again, when you get into computers and all that, it can all range. Personally, I use the Aurora, the Alienware Aurora R8. I used to get into one of the things I really, really wanted to do is I really wanted to build a computer. And as I did the cost analysis, like, we just got into it, and it was just like, you can get a pre-built one compared to making your own, and you're not saving that much money making your own. And like, so to me, value time. So that's one of the computers that I have. Yeah, so that's the main joint. Man, somebody asked what kind of chair I got, and guess what? I totally forgot. So it's funny is I literally got this thing from I think I got it from Staples. They had some sale when gaming chairs was the big thing. Gaming racing chairs was the big thing. Um, it was a simple joint. I'm trying to so personally, I actually it's mostly comfortable, but like I'm a big guy, and so the chair kind of a lot of the racing chairs, my bad, they're not flat. They're kind of like curved, and so it kind of squeezes. For some smaller people, it would be a great chair. The one that I'm actually looking at, I was trying to see if they actually have it on. I don't see it. I'm trying to see if I can find it. So these are the chairs that I'm actually looking at. Again, maybe I'll add Santa for Christmas or something if I can get one of these chairs. See if it pulls up. Uh, Site's acting crazy. All right. These are the chairs I'm looking at. That's what I really want. As you can see, the price tag actually definitely moves. Um, so yeah, I need a bigger chair that's a little more comfortable. Plus, these are pretty cool because you can customize them. Shh, don't tell Amazon. But so that's what I'm looking at. That's part of the thing is I just need a bigger chair. Um, but again, this chair is comfortable. I sit in it 12 hours a day, so it's mostly comfortable. But definitely check it out. Do a podcast thing. You only need a Scarlet to clear it. Yeah, definitely. Rolando asked, in short, to do a podcasting, you only need the Scarlet, declare it. It would be too much. Yeah, honestly, again, even for me, like I like toys. I wouldn't buy declare it. I would just get a Scarlet because it would do perfectly what you wanted to do. Again, your only difference would be the only decision for you would be if you're doing a podcast by yourself or if you plan to have other people down the line. If it's only going to be one other person, then the 2i2 is perfect for that because it has two mic inputs. Try to pull it back up. So the 2i2 has two actual mic inputs. So I would definitely get that. And then again, for a couple extra bucks, you can grow into it. That's the only downfall of this one is it only has the one mic input. Because I assume that if you're getting this, then obviously you're getting regular microphones. You're not getting like a USB mic. You're getting an XLR microphone. So definitely at least the two. If you're getting into something where you want more than that, even you would have to switch into a whole different kind of unit because even the four doesn't do four mic inputs. It does two mics and 2/4 inches. So if it's just two people, get the 2i2. It'll be amazing, hands down. It's USB, unplug it. It's literally plug and play on PC or Mac. Yeah, I love it. So I hope to answer your question, Rolando. Any last minute questions, I'll be glad to answer. But that's the setup, guys. That's what we're super duper excited about it. Like we look forward to being able to do a lot more interviews and a lot more live streams. All the contact information that you saw on the bottom is essentially about let me shoot. Like all the contact info. That's how you find us. That's how you find Black Tie Media and myself. I have a separate channel, separate things going on for YPX Gaming. This I shared just so I don't have to do multiple content. So sometimes I'll be gaming on here. Sometimes it'll be more strictly gaming talk. But definitely, let's see, four more people. Let me look off the top of my head. Again, I love Focusrite. Focusrite 4. All right. So if you're going 4 people, let's see. If you're going 4 people, yep, I got it up. All right, cool. here's some of the higher, not higher end, but they have more inputs. So something like the 18i8, second or third gen, probably third gen just because it's newer. But see how that'll give you the four inputs that you need if you want to do four. So again, you're going to spend a couple more bucks just because you're getting more inputs, you're getting more preamps. Again, I would stick. Focusrite is just an amazing product. Boom. And you actually technically get 8 inputs on this. I wonder if there's just a 4. So, and again, it comes with all the extra stuff, but because you need the mic inputs, you just automatically get the kind of the extra stuff. Let me just look 1 second. I just want to make sure. 2.4, yeah. So it looks like that's going to be kind of the easiest way to get into a 4 input. Again, Focusrite is just amazing. So definitely check it out. Check that out. Cool. So hopefully that answered that for you. Again, if you get anything past 4 people, like you're getting into like a whole different territory, very much larger inputs, and like that's a huge conversation for another day. I love talking studio stuff. So, but again, yeah, for the 4, definitely stick with the Focusrite. Again, you spend a couple more bucks, but it'll last you longer and it's more flexible. Let's see. Monty said, "What do you think about the Rode Podcaster Pro?" So, my initial opinion of it, is I love anything Rode. I used to do a lot of Rode microphones. I literally only bought this microphone because it was a little cheaper at the time, and I wasn't doing studio recording, so I was like, to put the money out for like a Rode, the Rode microphone because I was using before it was like $300 or $400. And if I'm just talking, the microphone I have is amazing, but like my choice would always be that. Yeah, but my initial is always I love anything Rode because they're built like the mics, speaker, or headphone type stuff. They just build such a quality product. Since I haven't gotten to play with it, I don't get the fun features yet of it because I know it's supposed to have some different fun features. But as far as the hardware, the mic inputs, all that, highly suggested. That's probably going to be that's on the wish list for the upgrade when I'm going to want to do more microphones or when stuff opens up and I have people in the studio and do live interview stuff. Definitely something I'll be looking into. So yeah, so definitely Rode is the way. One of the things I can't remember if it was you. I feel like you have the Rode wireless, if I'm not mistaken. Is that true? Because that's what I really wanted to look at. So instead of getting a longer cable, getting the wireless Rode unit. Wireless Go. This is kind of it, but for some reason, I think there's like a black version. I don't know if the white is just the new version, but because I even thought about even checking out these cheaper ones just to see, because I don't need the microphone, the lavalier. I actually want it for the reverse. I want it to, because I'm not sure if a lot of people use it for DSLR cameras. You're recording, you plug the lavalier in, or the square unit is a mic itself. And so you literally clip it on and you walk, and it's wireless. The other unit is on the top of your DSLR plugged in or in your actual handheld recording unit. I want to use it for a reverse feature. I want to take the transmitter and plug it into either my Focusrite or even when I DJ, I want to plug it into my mixer and then have the receiver in and plug my in-ears to the receiver. So that way I can be wireless at live events when I DJ, or in the studio, I can be wireless for whatever random reason I jump up. I don't have to worry about pulling my whole setup down because I'm plugged into the desk. So, yeah. So definitely inspiring there. If there's any last minute questions, I'll be glad to answer. I appreciate you guys sitting through this, going through the gear. So on here on Amazon Live, my current schedule will be Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. So feel free to drop in. Again, we're talking everything business, tech, and gaming. So some of those will be gaming. Some of those will be talking more about streaming or just any kind of DJ or production tech. Enjoy all of that stuff. Boom. That's it, guys. I truly, truly do appreciate you coming to check me out. Again, check out the social media. Come follow me. Come talk to me. If you have any other questions, again, feel free to reach out. Thanks for your time, guys, and have a great, 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 great day. Hey, guys, I hope you got a ton of value out of that video. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when we get more content about business and tech online. Make sure to check out the links in the bio for all the gear that we talked about in the video, and we'll see you in the next one.